Today is the second day of March, and I hope that you all had a exceptionally lovely leap year. I've realized that I've been neglecting my, not really the firstborn, not really the oldest, the youngest of the family here. Otis. I have a hard time remembering that name, because Carol was so catchy. Anywho, this car needs some work, desperately. So it's got a couple of problems. It's got a leak on the water pump. Terrible rear main leak. See that bunch of oil there? I don't want to pull the transmission. I really don't. Unless I'm replacing it with a 5-speed. But I might just have to tolerate that leak for just a little longer. I want to make sure my front main seal is still good. I replaced the belts there. Those are great. I still need an AC hose. It's 75 degrees today. It's reading 80 degrees in the sun. So yeah, I'd really like to get this car back on the road, especially for traveling longer distances, you know. So today I'm going to pull out my shocks and I'm going to see how bad the fronts are. I also need to make sure the front suspension isn't too badly broken, because it sort of likes to dive when I take a left turn, which really scares me. That happened after I hit the pothole in the ice. Not really pothole, just the ditch, the side of the road. You know how it goes. Right, so I don't have a spring compressor on me, so I'm just going to undo this nut. Oh, it's kind of stuck in there. I'm going to undo that nut, and I'm going to slowly jack it up, because it's basically the whole weight of the car is on there right now. When I jack it up, that will loosen the tension. I'll be able to get it all out. I'm going to need a spring compressor for installation, because the unit comes out separately and it will be installed on the bench and then put back in as a strut assembly. Cool. An alignment would be great too. I've also got a steering wheel that needs to go in. That's not the one. This is a leather steering wheel from a V70R. That's going to go in the V70 down the street, which I will be getting back soon on the road. And this steering wheel is being replaced with wherever I put it. This is a long update. Anyways, it's just been so many months. I've neglected this car and I need it to be reliable for work. Oh yeah, an oil change. That's what I was going to do. Peak Antifreeze is what you probably know this brand from. They make motor oil. It was on sale. You can tell $1.90 a quart. What am I got to lose? It's new oil, right? It's just nobody buys Peak oil. Reviews are alright. So it's not like Prestone or Quaker State. Oh my goodness. Have you ever seen wax in an engine? Look at engines that run those things. It's incredible. Right then. Onwards and upwards, as we like to say. I'm going to flex my arms because I'm so strong. Yeah, not really. Alright, goodbye. So with the shock disconnected, voila, the car is jacked up all the way and the wheel still sticks to the ground. Could you imagine having your 240 lifted this high? Looks like a serious duty rock crawling machine, in theory. Right, so you can see where they... Oh my goodness, I don't know if you can tell, but it's already collapsed itself. Oh no! This shock is just dead. Wow. Okay. Great. There's the bump stop and the bellows. It's also my name. And still keeping tension on that spring there. I do want to cut these springs. I think I might cut them to shorten them. Anyways, how much do you guys cut your springs? You let me know. And we will go from there. The rear sags a bit. What else is new? I should just get lowering springs, but my first 240 was cut. My goodness, they were short. Maybe 8 inches was how much spring was left. You know, if you were to measure top to bottom. I love the way I handled it. Never bottomed out either. Of course, the bump stops were cut as well. This shock absorber does hold its own, I think, for the time being. Let's see if I can compress it with hand. Yep, it's also blown. I mean, it has a little more dampening than the other one, but it's gone. Right, so I'm going to pull those assemblies apart. I'm going to place my order right now. Okie dokie, a couple of minutes later, got this all out. Turbo Bricks will tell you that this ball joint still has about 24 to 48,000 miles left until it needs to be replaced. Another thing I'm going to be doing is cleaning the ABS sensor. It gets full of metal shavings. Let's see if I can show you. Right there on the tip. Right there on the tip. Focus on the tip. What good are you? Anyways, this is one shock that still has some rebound. Although you shouldn't be able to compress it by hand. Unless you're, standing and you're giving it some real leverage. These springs are huge. Oh my goodness. I know. I'm gonna cut some coils off those babies. Stand by on that video. Let's go over to the other side. This is the worst side. Had a little more of a pop when it all came out. Again on the ball joint. Love squishy sounds, yes. Giant spring. Hey, where's my shock absorber? It's eager. Oh yeah. There's a little bit of a slop, a little slush in there. We're gonna grab some giant pliers, take this out, see what brand we're dealing with, and order some ball joints too. Gas pressurized unit. Can't find anything on this part number. It's showing me 950 up top, and then at the bottom C149R1C. It's beautiful color. Oh, I'm absolutely in love with that. Oh well, in the trash you go. Bye, Felicia. On the left we have our 240 front spring. On the right is our Amazon 122S front. I believe it's the front spring. Measures just under 16 inches, and then the 240 measures just under 18 inches. Huge spring. Huge. Alright, we're going to check the bearings on the top to make sure that they're in good order and that we do not need to replace the strut mount. So one way to check that is spin the bearing with your fingers. Get them dirty, that's right. Alright, so somebody commented saying that I sound a lot like the regular car reviews guy. And it's true, I do watch a lot of his damn videos. It's just hilarious. Alright. Maybe I'll have him review Arthur over there. That'd be kind of cool. Have him swing by the Southwest again. Alright. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Oh. So it's not as smooth. I was holding a flashlight with my mouth. It's not as smooth in there as it is with the wheel bearing. Like if a wheel bearing sounded that bad, or a transmission bearing, or any sort of fully rotational bearing, I would be very, very concerned. Considering that these struts, like they move as far as my finger moves, pretty much. A little to the left and a little to the right. So I'm just gonna spray it out and re-lubricate that bearing. Pack it up here from the top using my fancy grease gun with a grease nipple. That sounds good. So another common spot of wear. I know I'm getting a little out of control here. The rubber here starts to crack and split, and then you'll start noticing the center coming up more. We don't have that issue, thankfully. Underneath, it looks like a, an old dirty thing. So there's a sealed half of the bearing, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if it's, alright, I'm not going to grease the bearing and clean it out yet. So you guys let me know if that's a good idea or a bad idea overall. Cool, because there's no way for it to drain down. I might just end up making a bigger mess. Alright, also if you do need to remove this and you have a really nice alignment, alright, here we go. If you need to remove this, not to replace it, then mark your alignment points. I just use a little Sharpie there on the blue. And if you need to replace it, it won't really do you much good to mark the alignment, because then your alignment will be different. So I hope that's a good helpful tip for y'all. This is blue or green, whatever color you want it to be. Cool. Let's see if I can show you inside the strut tubes. I know you guys are curious. Cool. Not much to see. There's a nut on the bottom. There's my solar speaker. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. Alright. I guess you could tell I'm in a good mood, or whatever. Of course, that is until I get into other things, and then I have to deal with more problems on this car. So this is my makeshift strap here. Another ground strap, because the alternator likes to be fickle at best. I know some of you purists are like, you don't need that. But, you know, like I said, first I had that brake. The one on the firewall there. Yeah, you could see part of the leftover bit there. And this replaced it on the side of the road. I just went and got cable from Ace Hardware. So this is like a home style, like a residential style cable, which is why it's really stiff. I need to replace all of the exhaust manifold gaskets. But see, I don't really want to do that until I put my turbo manifold and turbo swap in there, you know what I mean? Of course, everybody wants a turbo swap these days. Alright, fan, last I checked, was working alright. This is the plastic radiator. The brass 3-core, the heavy-duty radiator from IPD is sitting up on my shelf. There, I replaced it just to see if it helped anything. It turns out the other radiator had nothing to do with the mess of overheating. It was all just fan problems and whatchamacallit, the gauge on the dashboard's freaking out all the time. So it's also on my to-do list along with the speedometer, because I need to start tracking miles for work if I get the job, which requires the fleet car. Otherwise, I'm just going to be driving Arthur the rest of the time. But I like having the subwoofer. It was nice. This is becoming a very long rant of all things my Volvo. Like, for example, I did not align the door panel all the way. See that gap? One more time. Yeah. There's the timing belt kit for Jacob, who was kind enough to give me his Continental Contotech timing belt when mine broke right outside of his shop. And thanks, Jim and Jacob. You guys were great. You saved my butt that day. A couple of extra sun visor clips. Can't ever seem to find the right one. But number 2 is the winner there on the right. That one on the left is a little beige. And another wiper nozzle, because these guys are all just jammed up. Right there is a Union sticker. It's the local 480. Movies make money for New Mexico. That's gonna try to find a spot on it. This is an $11 dash cam. I don't know why all of a sudden this video went from suspension to featured parts on my car. So there's a $11 dash cam. I got that on Amazon. It kind of sucks. The field of view is so narrow that a car has to be damn near 15 feet in front of you before you can even see it. I figure it's some liability. It scares people to say, oh, I've got a dash cam. Alright, this mirror is probably one of the coolest things in this car. It's the Broadway 360, I believe. The 280 fits a little better. The 360 is huge. And what else? Dog hair everywhere. Oh yeah, make sure you buy genuine Broadway. They're on eBay. Make sure the packaging is genuine. It just kind of clips on there, you can see. It's been the best. It eliminates blind spots. You do spend a lot of time looking at yourself. Just try not to. And there's the microphone. That was that hidden output on the radio. That's the word. So the REM was the microphone. Nothing to do with the remote. Cool. Tent's holding up well. Of course, I expect it to. It's indoors. And too many stickers on the back. I really want to clean it up, so I might. I know the tint is cut kind of bad behind the polar bear, so there will be a gap if I remove that. I don't know. It's a hard time to commit. It's hard to take them off. Oh, I need taillights, guys. If you have any taillights, I need the passenger side. You know how the bulb overheats and melts it and all that stuff? Yeah. Cool. And if you have any info on how to wire the rear to get 2 parking lights and the third lit up light on the taillight to be a brake light, I hope that made sense. Please let me know. I'd love to figure that out. Alrighty then. Look, an REI bottle that matches Arthur. Oh, I've also got sunglasses that match Arthur, and I have an REI jacket that matches Arthur. Cool. Thanks for watching. It's been another wonderful day. Brought to you by not these sponsors, because I'm not making any money on this. Alright, take care, guys.